About the most important lesson that I've learned in Weibo, and that is that there is no such thing as coincidence. Let me just offer you a story as an example. I had heard of Weibo about 2 years ago from the Small Business Development Center. There was a counselor there named Janet Page. She might even be here tonight. When we met, though, I was just starting to lay the foundation for what would later become my business, and the stack of information that she gave me was more than enough homework that I had. I wasn't ready for Weibo just yet. When I started getting really serious about owning a business, I began shifting my life around to make time for this new endeavor, and that included giving up teaching yoga, which I had done for about a year. It was now September of 2012, and though I wasn't teaching yoga at the time, I got a request to sub a yoga class for a dear friend of mine, so I said yes. It was a sweet and small yoga class, and I did my best to guide the 3 women there present through their practice. After class, we all got to chatting, and one of the women asked if I taught somewhere regularly. I said no and explained that I was making time to start my new business. One of the other women in the room seemed to take notice of this. As we walked out of the gym, still chatting, she introduced herself as Deidre Lavelle, a 16-year volunteer for Weibo. Who volunteers for 16 years? I told her that I had heard about Weibo before, and she told me a little bit more about it. And I also remembered that Weibo was only offered for certain points during the year. Well, when's the next workshop, I asked. In 2 weeks. It's 16 weeks long. Okay, how much is it? $275. I knew that it was a big commitment, and I knew that I didn't have the money or the time, but I also knew that the answer was yes. 2 weeks later, I was in Weibo. You see, there are no coincidences. In Deepak Chopra's book, The Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire, he explains it like this. Intent creates coincidences. It is the reason why, when you're thinking of something, it happens. It's like when you're thinking of someone all day long, and then all of a sudden they just so happen to call you. It's no coincidence that we are all here tonight. And though we're celebrating the end of our time together as workshop groups, we're really celebrating the beginning of the fulfillment of our desires. Because we each came to Weibo with a desire. We had a desire to make a cupcake that is as delicious as it is geeky. To make lingerie so that women with little bee stings can feel sexy as ever. To help businesses understand how to use the internet and social media. To make perfume art and art perfume. To create a chicken wrap that we all think is the bomb. To feed the world real food that just so happens to be made with love and chili peppers. We're truly blessed to be in a room that's so illuminated with desire. So many people go through their lives not ever really knowing what they want, not ever really knowing what they desire. But we are the lucky ones, because we have done the work. We've looked inside ourselves and asked the hard questions. And though we might be scared as hell, we know what we want. Our planning shoots are done, but trust that there is still plenty of work to do. And the time to do it is now. A good friend of mine puts it this way. The answer to how is yes. Whatever you do, don't doubt yourself. That's what we're all here for. When you're struggling, call one of your classmates, email, text, reach out, because more than anything, this day represents that we've earned this web of support, this vibrant network of people who really want each other to succeed. And we'll find success when we let nothing stop us from fulfilling our desire. I'd like to leave you with one last quote from my man Deepak. Our destiny ultimately comes from the deepest level of desire, and also from the deepest level of intention. The ancient Vedic texts known as the Upanishads declare, "You are what your deepest desire is. As is your desire, so is your intention. As is your intention, so is your will. As is your will, so is your deed. As is your deed, so is your destiny." Thank you.